Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker. Excited, they're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 114 yards, and a score.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Falcons send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Lions will take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
See the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Herbert's throw taken in by Ridley here. And in for the Lions, touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3-and-out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you. The same way, just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3-and-out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3-and-out. I went 3-and-out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. 2nd and 9 now. Got a man. It's London.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Herbert off of play action. They'll roll him out right. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jameson Williams with career touchdown number 208, tying Jerry Rice for the most ever in NFL history. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles. Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Although a jet sweep to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Jameson Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession.
There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. It's the fullback. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
To his running back, Swift on the slant.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 21-0 our score after 1. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Chase Young able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy
nowhere to go. Here he lost the football, and the Lions have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now Herbert following the turnover. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Lions are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this 1st half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Chase Young able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this 1st half of football.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Well, more problems defensively. The face mask adds 15 yards.
And this has really been an undisciplined team. We've seen them make a lot of mistakes similar to this. It's a big reason why they're down so big on the scoreboard.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. Being chased out left. Past the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the 1st month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
Taylor is in for a Lions touchdown. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here, because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. I would say they went 3-and-out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3-and-out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1-and-out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And this offense on third down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8.
And that's out.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown.
Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive.
Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll get this into the hand.
Swift once again. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Lions to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Herbert. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Back to throw here, Herbert. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 39 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips in that secondary, and I suspect a lot of mumbling under their breath as well, because this defense has had no answer for the passing game here in the first half.
Again, Herbert. And that is incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Justin Herbert looking to pass.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
Touchdown! Jamison Williams with career touchdown number 209, breaking Jerry Rice's record.
And the Lions extend their lead yet again.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And a quick throw here that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Herbert now. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Lions would extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy hit a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top as we'll head down to... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling. I just don't know how they get slowed down because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
60 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Justin Herbert, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. On first down, Justin Herbert.
They'll find Williams on the slant. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it,
and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Partner, give that coordinator a raise because he's been pedal to the metal all game, sending rushers from all angles at the quarterback. And there, within range of a safety, he really made the right call, and it got him to the ground and picked up 2 points.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
And some space here. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Lions will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Chase Young. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things.
And in for the Lions touchdown. Jamison Williams adding to his NFL record in touchdowns. And the Lions are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The throw over the middle, taken in. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That's what I'm talking about.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He completes it to Ridley. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Lions are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Chase Young, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. He'll look to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Jameson Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you can get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Shakes off the sack.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time.
That's caught at the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to...
Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down on the other side of midfield.
A big play there for Detroit.
And even 40 yards.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it.
And it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. And the Falcons will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
He's going to get that to Swift underneath, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Lions, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.